Alright, so before we get into the video, I'm going to be talking about the Isaac Cruz versus Francisco Vargas post-fight review. Isaac Cruz dominates Francisco Vargas by a 10-round unanimous decision. Isaac Cruz improves to 22 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw with 15 KOs. My thoughts on the fight, man, dude, Isaac Cruz, man. That dude is good, bro. I like Isaac Cruz. I like how he's very powerful with both hands. He can easily get schooled by somebody like Shakur Stevenson or something. But this dude, man, Isaac Cruz, man, that dude's good. This dude is improving a lot. And the thing there's only one thing I gotta say about Isaac Cruz is that, why couldn't he drop him before? After he got a cut, he was just mauling freaking Francisco Vargas, and then he dropped him. Why couldn't he do that before? He could have stopped Francisco Vargas. He could have stopped Francisco Vargas. So, I don't know why he didn't do that before. I actually predicted Isaac Cruz to actually stop Francisco Vargas by making him quit in his stool, but apparently I'm wrong. You got to give credit to Francisco, man. He did show a lot of heart. He did try to fight back, but I just think the strength and kind of the pressure of Isaac Cruz was getting to Francisco. I do hope that after this fight, Francisco Vargas retires. It's not that he's bad. It's just his health. It's unhealthy for him to keep fighting. But and he's not necessarily a legend, but he is a good fighter. He always been a good fighter. But I think it's time to just take off the gloves and just retire, man. Because I know Isaac Cruz is a very good fighter, but it's not healthy, man. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. The dude's 36 years old, I think. I mean, it's not that old, but especially in his stage now in his career, he is only gonna beat those low comers, not those high comers. So those high prospects like Isaac or somebody like that, or Valdez or something like that. So I just think Francisco Vargas needs to retire. But Isaac Cruz, a guy that I think would be a very good fight for him is Miguel Berchelt. Isaac Cruz versus Miguel Berchelt would make a very good fight. If they fought, I would have to pick Isaac. Because with Berchelt, there's no footwork, there's no boxing abilities, and he doesn't got a good chin at all. And if you're not gonna have a good chin against somebody like Isaac Cruz, you're gonna get stomped on, bro. You're gonna get knocked the hell out if you're gonna have a weak chin. If you're a guy that has a weak chin and you're facing a guy like Isaac Cruz. So yeah, man, Isaac Cruz, man, congratulations. I'm very impressed with Isaac. I did expect him to stop him, but that's the only thing. But Francisco Vargas only been down once his whole career. Even when he fought Miguel Berchelt, even though he lost twice against Miguel Berchelt cannot drop him. So, you got to give credit to Cruz, for that, man. But congratulations to Cruz, man. And yeah, so on to the video. Hey, what's up, y'all? Preston from Fight Media 360 here. So this is a quick preview and prediction for Erickson the Hammer Lubin versus Jeison Banana Rosario. So if you guys don't know, this fight takes place on the undercard of Gervonta Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios. this is the co-main for the fight. So, yes, so since we got that out the way, now let's talk about... Well, no, before we talk about their stats, I just want to say how this is a great fight. This is a very good fight. You know, both carry a lot of power. They both have not the best chins, especially Jeison Rosario. He doesn't have the best chin in the world. Same for Lubin, but the one who has the weaker chin is Rosario. But it's still gonna be a very good fight. Tough to predict. I got my prediction, but it's a tough prediction. But it is a very good fight. Somebody's gonna get KO'd, not TKO'd, KO'd. In my opinion, I think somebody's gonna get KO'd. Like, I think somebody's gonna get knocked the hell out in this fight. And yeah, so now let's talk about their stats, and then the odds, and then what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with Erickson the Hammer Lubin. So Erickson Lubin comes into the fight with a record of 23 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 5'9.5" with a 74.5-inch reach. Obviously, his only loss came from Jermell Charlo. He got KO'd viciously in the first round against Jermell. He got knocked the hell out in that fight. So yeah. Now for Jeison Rosario. So Jeison Rosario comes into the fight with a record of 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. So the taller man is Jeison Rosario, and obviously, you know, Jeison Rosario's only 2 losses came from Nathaniel Gallimore and Jermell Charlo. So yeah. Alright. So Erickson Lubin is listed as a negative 303 favorite over Jeison Rosario. So Lubin is the favorite in this fight. So yeah. So now that we got that out the way, now let's talk about what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. Let's start off with the favorite, Erickson the Hammer Lubin. So Erickson Lubin, what I would like to see from him is, because I really like Lubin's boxing style. He's a very good boxer, just his chin is not it. And especially when you're going against a guy like Rosario that carries a lot of power, but him himself doesn't have the best chin. So, like, he needs to take advantage of Rosario, like, for Rosario having a weak chin and pretty much just trying to knock him out, because they both have the power to knock each other out. That's why it's very difficult to pick who I think will win this fight. But what Erickson Lubin needs to do is to I would like to see him, like, you know, do what he does and box and fight from mid-range, land his power hand. What is his power shot? Like this right hand or something? Both his hands got power, but he's very good at his right hand. So try to land pretty much try to land that right hand on Rosario. Don't just focus on the right hand, but, you know, like, you know, do combos and stuff, but really just counter Rosario, because Rosario, it's pretty clear that he doesn't take a punch very, very well at all. Like, you know, he got knocked the hell out by Jermell Charlo by a body shot, and it didn't even look that bad. It was just a little tap to the body, and he freaking knocked him out to a seizure, bro. So, you know, so he needs to take that as an advantage, that Rosario cannot take a punch at all. So if he can land, if Lubin can land that power, if he can land that right hand clean, or not even clean, just, you know, just hit him, he can really hurt and knock Rosario out. So that's the key, is to hurt Rosario and to counter Rosario. You know, even though he is the shorter man, and it's gonna be kind of hard. It's gonna be a little difficult for Lubin to counter Rosario. You know, just try. You know, just pretty much not just look for the counter, but also look for the combo, and just pretty much just also outpoint Rosario. You know, but you have to do it like very smart. Like, you have to be very smart when you do it, because when J-Rock fought Rosario, like, J-Rock was actually boxing quite well, but he was getting hit like quite a lot by Rosario. You know, his face was all busted up against Rosario. So and then, like, after that, he got caught and just got shook, and then he just got knocked the F out. Excuse my profanity, but you know, but that's what Lubin needs to do, is to be a smart boxer, and then be a very good counter puncher, and then, like, really, like hit him like really hard, not really hard, but yeah, really hard, you know, but really just knock him out with his right hand, and then, you know, just be a very good boxer, and just counter Jeison Rosario when he's coming in, and then I'm pretty sure it would shake him, because he definitely does not have a good chin at all. So yeah, so that's what he needs to do, is to be a good counter puncher. Box, you know, try to outpoint Rosario, and pretty much just like throw combos on Rosario. So that's what Erickson Lubin needs to do to win. Now for Jeison Rosario. So what Jeison Rosario needs to do is, the main goal is to, kind of like what I said to Lubin, counter Lubin, and then, because if you can, like, just like with Lubin, if you can counter, just like what I said with, like, Lubin about, you know, what he needs to do, like, counter Lubin when he's also coming in, and then use your size advantage, because it's pretty obvious that Jeison Rosario is a lot bigger. At least it looks like he's a lot bigger than Erickson Lubin. So pretty much, like, use that as an advantage. Use your strength as an advantage, and really just beat the hell out of Erickson Lubin. So yeah, and pretty much just let your hands fly, but don't make too many openings though, because Lubin carries a lot of power. So Lubin can easily just hit you and put you to sleep. So he needs to be more careful. But then for him, I would like to see more boxing, because you really don't really see that much boxing of Rosario. Rosario's kind of like that guy that, he's kind of like, you know, like that guy who just, he doesn't really move his feet around that much. He's just a guy that likes to throw his hands a lot. He's kind of like a bigger version. He's like a Dominican bigger version of a Miguel Burchell. Like, he likes to plant his feet down, and he doesn't like to move his feet a whole lot. And he likes to move, and he just likes to throw hands. But you can't do that against Lubin, because Lubin is just going to pick you off every time when you're just stationary like that. So what he needs to do is to also box, because if he can box, he has a big chance of winning. Like, especially if he can counter him. Ooh, if he counters Lubin, like, he'll hurt Lubin. And then if he hurts Lubin, it's over. It's over. Because you've seen how Lubin in his last fight against Terrell Goucher, he was pretty much like beating up Terrell Gausha, but like the whole fight. But Terrell Gausha did have moments where like he hit him and then like he rocked Lubin. So kind of like use that as an advantage and try to take Lubin's head off. You know, like I think I already said that. I'm not sure, but yeah. So and then land your power shots and land a lot of power shots on Lubin and pretty much just try to look for the knockout. You know, because both these guys has what it takes to knock both each other out. But man, it's gonna be a great fight though, man. But that's what Rosario needs to do, is work more on his boxing skills, because there's really no boxing skills. He just likes to plant his feet down and just you know, kind of be like a stationary fighter and not move his feet around, because he does have slow footwork. So I think he needs to definitely work on his footwork, because that's how he got knocked out by Jermell Charlo. Because Jermell was just all over him, moving around, beating him in the inside, outside, and like Rosario couldn't really do anything, because I mean Rosario did have some moments, you know, he was hitting him a little bit. I did give actually Rosario 3 rounds in that fight. Actually, I gave Rosario actually like 3 rounds in that fight. So he did have some moments in that fight, but just he couldn't really do anything, you know. He couldn't really control because once Jermell Charlo figured him out, he couldn't really do anything because he wasn't moving his feet around against Charlo. Because Jermell Charlo moves his feet around a lot. And you know, and he's hits hard too. But if you're gonna fight a guy like Lubin, who hits a lot harder, not a lot harder, but hits harder in my opinion than Jermell Charlo, then you're gonna have a lot of problems, bro. You're gonna have a whole hell of a lot of problems, dude, if you're just gonna be stationary and just get hit by Lubin, because you cannot be stationary when you're fighting a guy like Lubin, because Lubin is gonna pick you off every time, and especially with the chin that Rosario got. If you're just gonna get picked off like that, you're gonna get knocked out. Plain as that. If you're just gonna plant your feet down and just not move around, then Lubin is just gonna come and just crack you. So that's what he needs to do, is move his feet around. Again, you know, be a boxer, you know, because if you can be a boxer, you can definitely have a big chance of winning. Be a boxer and then look for the knockout. So that's what Rosario needs to do to win. So yeah. So my final prediction, very good fight. You know, this is another great fight on the card. Man, I can't wait for this fight, man. I just can't wait, man. This is going to be an awesome fight. Somebody's going to get knocked out. But if I would have to pick one in this fight, I would probably have to lean more towards Erickson Lubin by a knockout in the earlier or mid rounds. The reason why is, again, like what I said, is that Rosario likes to just plant his feet down, not move his feet down, and not move his feet a whole lot. He just likes to, you know, brawl. You know, he doesn't really like to move his feet. He's kind of like Miguel Burchell. He's not fast with his feet. He doesn't have a good chin. The only thing he really got is power. That's the only thing. Like, he can't take really any hits. So that's why. And especially when he's stationary, bro, like, Lubin is gonna be there all day long. And then it's going to be a short night for Jeison Rosario if he does that. And I think that he's just going to plant his feet down and just be stationary and just get beaten up. And that's why I pick Erickson Lubin. So yeah, so that's my final prediction. I got Erickson Lubin by a early or mid-round knockout. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Fight Media 360, and thank y'all for watching this video.